Hi, everyone, and welcome to our full moon meditation tonight on Universal Love Starts from Within. So, we generally start with quotes because, quotes can definitely help inspire you and leave you with food for thought. And actually, I have two because they're so good, I couldn't choose between one. Both of them are going to be relevant with regards to our wisdom talk today. The first one I would like to share, this is actually a new book. I haven't used this yet on these sessions, but this is one of my favorites. It's called Pearls of Inner Wisdom. And this one is so good. It's so good that I actually keep it close to heart. I actually have it written in a journal because I like to reflect on it. And it's called, the quote is, "Change your mind to change the world. The only definitive way to overcome aggression, selfishness, conflict, wrong view, and stubbornness is to uproot the very thoughts of all of these things from the mind by meditating until we can attain inner wisdom from within." So, this is very good because if we're talking about trying to change the world, we have to start from ourselves, especially when it comes to universal love. The other one is love yourself, and this is also quite relevant to our topic today. To love yourself is different from being selfish. To love oneself means to purify oneself and to be happy at all times. All things that come to our mind and our five senses, sight, sound, smell, taste, or touch, both good and bad, we must choose to opt for the good and let all be at the seventh base, the center of the body. So both are pretty relevant to our topic today, which is going to be on universal love. And next, I just want to go over a little bit about our teaching monk. If you haven't meditated with Monk Daniel before, you're in for a treat. So Monk Daniel has ordained and he's dedicated to his life to meditation and practicing as a Buddhist monk since 2012. So he's been a monk for over 10 years now. He believes that positive life change begins from within and that everyone can change their outer world by first changing their inner world with regular meditation practice. Another thing about Monk Daniel is that he's been teaching meditation domestically and internationally to monks and novices and people all around the world. So he's very well trained with regards to teaching and definitely inspiring people to find themselves from within. So without further ado, let me introduce Monk Daniel.
So, good evening to everyone. Good morning from Thailand. To see everyone again on this auspicious night on the full moon, which is a very important, special time actually, if we learn more about it. But mainly, it's the most brightest night of the month. So, there's a lot of positivity, a lot of good energy on this night. Today, I wanted to talk to you about universal love and how we can connect to it through meditation. Especially, we just passed, 2 days ago was Valentine's Day. So happy Valentine's Day to everyone. Hopefully you had a good time. And today we're going to learn the most important thing is to love yourself, to love yourself, as our wonderful host just mentioned with the quote from Paul, is one of the best ways is to love yourself, and how to do that is through meditation. This is something that my master Paul Tamachio always tells us, the monks, the community, everyone, that we need to make time for ourselves and make time for us to meditate, because if you truly love not only yourself but the people around you and everything around you, actually it will benefit from loving yourself first, which I'll explain a little bit how is that not selfish, right? It may sound a little bit in the beginning, but let's talk a little bit about it. So as we may see I want to talk about self-care a little bit. I know this is a topic that you may have heard about. So self-care isn't being selfish. This is a point that we have to get across, that taking care of yourself doesn't mean me first, but it means me too. It means including yourself in your happiness and including yourself and loving yourself as well. Sometimes in life, our focus gets distracted, and out of our good intentions, we tend to put our passion and our love and dedication into everything around us. It's like whether it's our job, our relationships, whatever it may be, we put our passion and love into everything around us. But sometimes we forget to give some of that. We forget to give some of that love to ourselves. And today I want us to remind ourselves that we need to make time for ourselves too, because a better you means a better world. And right now it may seem kind of, how can me being a better person change the world? It may seem kind of big, like a big picture. But if you think of it, if you're a better version of yourself, the first people who are going to impact are the people around you, right? Your family, the people you love, your friends, your community. So it directly impacts the world and the environment around you about if you look after yourself more. So when we talk about self-care ideas, I'm sure there's many ways that we've heard before, whether it's going to the spa, taking care of yourself, taking care of your body. But the most important self-care idea is to look after your mind, which in this day and age, many people are starting to realize that mental health is very important, as we are living in a day and age where we are connected to everything in the world easily, right? Through technology, through our phones, through everything. We are so connected with everything and everyone, but sometimes from that connection to everything and everyone, we forget to connect to something very important, which is we disconnect from ourselves and we forget to look after ourselves. So we're so connected to everything, but we're disconnected from our own happiness and how we are feeling, because we're distracted on the outside. We're so busy looking outside all the time that we forget to spend some time to look inside and look at ourselves. So the most important self-care idea, number one, is to look after your health, your mental health, your mind. How is your mind today? Because life can get pretty distracting, right? We have so many things we need to balance, whether it's looking after our physical health by exercising, looking after our career, looking after our relationships, or whether it's social or any relationship. It's very hard to balance what's important in our life if we don't look after our mind first, because our mind is the root of everything. Sometimes we tend to forget that, and we don't balance things correctly because life is very hectic, right? So sometimes we focus a lot on exercise, or sometimes we forget to simple way is look after your mind first. Because if your mind is clear and bright, everything in your life is going to be done successfully and easily, whether it's your work, your relationships, everything in your life is going to go into balance if your mind is in balance. So many times we may feel like we're out of energy, or maybe we have a broken heart or something like that. We don't have the passion anymore. We don't have the love anymore. We need to recharge. We need to have mindfulness of how we're feeling and be willing to look after yourself. Just like our phones, right? Sometimes we see our battery low, we automatically need to go charge it, right? We see the 10% warning, the 5% warning, and then we're looking for a charger to make sure our phone doesn't run out or whatever it may be. We should feel the same way about our mind, about how we're feeling. If we feel low energy, we feel unhappy, we feel discouraged, we feel like uh, weak mentally, we need to go recharge ourselves. We need to go refresh ourselves, which the best way to do that is by meditation. So I'm so happy that everyone here is coming to recharge yourself and to make sure that we are full of happiness and love from within. Because if you don't love yourself, it's very hard to love the things around you. It's like we are empty glass. If you're low energy and you're not positive, it's very hard to be positive to other things and other people around you. So by meditation, it's like we are every time we meditate, the more we meditate and the better we meditate, it's like we're filling ourselves up. It's like a glass that's full. And actually, sometimes it may even feel like overflowing with happiness and contentment and not only love for yourself, but love for everything around you. So through meditation, it's like we're a full glass that we can pour and share to everyone around us after we look after ourselves first. So we need to normalize meditation into our life and prioritize, make it one of the things that we make it a daily habit, just like we look after our physical self, whether it's taking a shower, brushing our teeth. We do these things daily, no matter what. And we need to clean our mind the same way as normally as we would look after our health and our body. Because if we go back to self-care ideas, we don't have enough time in our schedule for everything. That's true. Sometimes we only have 24 hours a day. Our day is very busy, right? So if you remind yourself that and reflect on yourself that we may not have enough time for everything that we want to do, but we always have time for the things we love. So we need to make ourselves one of the things that we love as well. And meditation, one of those things that we love. If we make it something that we love, we're going to spend time on it and make it part of our schedule. So just before we meditate together today, I wanted to give us a little review on how to meditate as well, how to connect to that inner love and feel that happiness inside. For those of you who are new, or for those of you who are been meditating many years, this is something that even myself, I have to remind myself, even though I've been meditating for 10 years as a monk and ever since
Well, you guys, it looks like we just lost connection, but Venerable Monk Daniel will probably be jumping on shortly. Give him about 3 minutes. But until then, I'll go ahead and just kind of give you a recap with regards to your meditation technique. Definitely, you want to keep your mind bright and happy and joyful as much as possible. Try to recall good things that you've done in your life to kind of help make your mind just refreshed. And then from there, just relax your mind, your body, just some high level recap with regards to your meditation technique. One of the things that we try to focus on, if you can, is the center of the body. And Monk Daniel will definitely give us some guidance with regards to that when he returns. But there are three things that we can do when we're trying to meditate is first, we've got to clear our mind. Second, from that, relax the body and the mind. And then we want to pretty much trick the mind because the mind has a tendency to dart from different thoughts or different images. So high level, one of the things that we recommend people utilize to help calm the images essentially is you can anchor your mind with a shining sun, a full moon, which is very appropriate with it being full moon meditation, or just simply relax and keep your mind at the center of the body. In addition to that, you can also use a mantra, and our mantra is Sama Alahang for those who are familiar with our meditation technique. Or you don't have to use that mantra. You can just use anything that makes you feel calm, whatever it is, it should be neutral. So another recommendation would be you can simply just recite clear and bright, clear and bright, clear and bright. Just something repetitive to kind of help tune out the noises in the mind. Or simply we can just relax and just clear our mind from any thoughts and just simply keep your mind at the center of the body. Meditation is very simple. It's just a matter of letting go of your thoughts, which is definitely easier said than done. One of my teachers, Venerable Nalong, always would used to tell us how simple meditation really is. But when we try, it's not so simple because even though we might look very peaceful on the outside, in the inside, there's just so many thoughts just constantly running through your mind. But with practice, with guidance from our teaching venerables, you will be able to get to that point where you can calm the mind. So that is pretty much a high level recap of our meditation technique. Venerable Daniel is probably doing his best to get on. We'll just have to wait for him. And at this time, I would like to invite any venerable that's on this call who might like to also give some advice with regards to our meditation technique. I know we've got many amazing teachers on this call with us tonight. If you can add any additional uh, um, any additional guidance or any advice with regards to adding on to what I just said, that would be awesome. Hopefully I'm not talking to myself because I don't know at this point if I am or if I'm not. I don't think I am, because if I was, we'd probably have a lot of people leave the call and we still don't. So yes, please hang in there with us as we take care of our technical difficulties. Oh, good. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know, because when you are on Zoom calls, you really don't know if you're talking to yourself or not unless you get some feedback. Okay, excellent. Thank you. So just a little bit about myself while we're waiting for Monk Daniel. I've actually been a volunteer since 2008, so almost as long as Venerable Daniel being a monk. It's been one of the most passionate things in my life with regards to just helping to spread meditation, being an example, being able to pioneer many different projects. So it's definitely an honor to be able to be on these calls with you. So at this point, I have learned a lot with regards to our meditation technique because I have had many, many different teaching monks throughout the years, which has been such an inspiration because no matter what, it's very easy that, if you aren't connected to a community, it's not always very easy to be connected to your practice. Even though you know how important meditation is, without a community of teachers or virtuous friends or even meditating together like this, it gets really easy to get distracted. And before you know it, time goes by, life goes by, and you just don't have that same commitment to your meditation practice. But by all of us coming together once a month or as many times as you can, say if you are connected to a local center, it really does help you commit to your practice so that before you know it, as the days goes by, which becomes months and years, you can look back and be very proud of yourself that you have been able to commit to your practice, that you are doing something worthwhile, with your life essentially, because in the end, the only thing that we can really take with us is our actions. And by meditating, we're definitely creating good actions for ourselves. So, all of us on this call, be proud of yourself that you are in the right direction, that you found some of the best teachers in the entire world. I kid you not. We are so lucky. I see it all the time. We don't have to go anywhere else with regards to meditation. We've got it right at our fingertips. Or even better, if you've got a local center, you have to take advantage of the amazing wisdom that we get from our teaching monks. So, that's one of the things that I'm very grateful for, that I've got many, many teaching monks by being connected to this meditation community. Thank you. Yes. So, this might kind of interfere with our meditation just a little bit, since our schedule normally is to meditate from 9:20 to 9:50, which is about half an hour meditation. And Monk Daniel is not on the call yet. So we'll have to kind of kill time until he gets on. I don't know if anyone can. Thank you. I don't know if anyone can connect with Monk Daniel while I'm trying to inspire our community, and that way we can know kind of what to do. If not, I am going to have to volunteer one of our teaching monks, which we've got many qualified ones on this call, to guide our meditation practice for us, because there's many that can do it, I promise you. Okay, so a little bit more about me, since we've got a little bit more time, is that one of the things that I'm most proud of is, and this is for anyone in Georgia, because, and this is something I would announce at the end, but I'm going to do it now. I'm really excited that one of our teaching monks from Thailand, he's actually a former member of Georgia. And I'm very proud to say that when I saw him in Thailand in 2019, pre-COVID, he gave me a gift, and I went to a meditation retreat where he was teaching. His name is Venerable Michael, and he was a former student at the Georgia Meditation Center, which is where I volunteer. And when I saw Venerable Michael just before I was about to leave, oh, wonderful. Okay, I don't have to say anything now. I can wait till the end, because we've got our teaching monk back on the call. And now we will start our meditation, and perfect timing, because we start meditation at 9:20. It's now 9:22, so we didn't lose very much time. So at this time, Venerable Daniel, are you there? Wonderful. He's coming on so I can tell my story later. Thank you, everyone, for being patient with us. As we all know, technology, you just never know, it can be fickle sometimes. Okay, I think Venerable Daniel is on the call. He's just having a little bit of problems unmuting his microphone. Thank you, Quincy. Quincy's from Canada. He just sent me some positive feedback. Thank you, Daniel. I guess 2 thumbs up for being on the spot, right? These are the things you have to do sometimes. Thank you. Okay, well, Venerable Daniel is joining us. Just give him a couple more minutes. Oh, Deb, I've got all these friends on the call. Thank you, you guys. Thank you. Okay, well, you know what? When Venerable Daniel gets on the call, I will just zip up. But for right now, let me continue, since I was right in the middle of my inspiring talk here. A former member of the Georgia Meditation Center. And like, anyone who knows me will hear about him, because I'm so proud of the fact that he was a former student at the Georgia Meditation Center. And when I had the opportunity, never mind, he's back. Thank you, Venerable. I was just creating all these things that I can share with people.
I was waiting to be co-host because I can't unmute myself as a participant.
Well, we are glad you're back. Go have at it, Lonky. And you guys will hear from me later. Thank you.
We left off on how before we meditate, just real quick, the most important thing is making sure that we are relaxed of both body and mind. So I'll continue later. For now, let's get into the meditation, because we are running out of time a little bit. Sorry for the technical difficulties. the main temple. Take a moment to adjust ourselves to make sure we're in the correct position so we don't start or run in the wrong direction like the crab and the shrimp in the picture. So take a moment to adjust yourself, find a comfortable position, whether you're sitting on the floor, on a chair, and let's begin our meditation together. So we should treat every session like it's our first, taking the time to make sure that we are relaxed, that we are comfortable. Because meditation is essential, the most important part is how we start. Making sure that we are running or starting our journey in the right direction. So we need to take the time to make sure that our body is comfortable and relaxed. From the moment we close our eyes, softly and gently, naturally, as if we were about to go to sleep. Because now is the time to truly rest our mind and recharge ourselves, both physically and mentally. For the rest of the meditation, we no longer need to use our eyes. In order to see and experience the meditation, we only need to use our feeling of relaxation and comfort. That's why it's so important to observe and check ourselves physically first, making sure every single part of our body, from head to toe, is completely relaxed and released. Sometimes the easiest way to do that is just to take a deep breath a few times, breathing in slowly and gently and deeply, feeling the cool and relaxing air, the calmness as it fills our body up with relaxation. Even as we exhale, allowing that calm and comfort, that same relaxation to come out as all the tension and tightness in our body melts away. Within us, we feel relaxed, and all around us, we feel comfort, feel safe. The more we relax our body, we may begin to feel that our body is becoming more light, more weightless. This is the power of simply relaxing. Our mind begins to follow automatically as well. Our journey to find our inner happiness the universal love inside has already begun. Right now, all we need to do is to continue to relax. Now that our body is more relaxed, a mind that is relaxed is simply a mind that is free from any thoughts, any attachments. So we need to put everything aside as if we were going on a trip, going on vacation. We can put our mind in airplane mode, disconnecting all connections from everyone and everything. This journey inside, we don't need any baggage. All we need is ourselves. Right now, it's a time to love ourselves, to make sure that our mind is in the right place, to make sure that our mind is positive, clear, and bright. So let's take the time to help ourselves to calm down, to relax, by using whatever method that is easiest for us to use. Whether it's to repeat the mantra in our mind softly and gently, Samma Arahang, Samma Arahang, or clear and bright, clear and bright. Using the mantra like a calming lullaby, soothing and coaxing our mind to gently calm down, to relax, like a song playing from within. Or some of us may find it easier to just visualize an image, the full moon, like tonight. We can imagine it however we like, wherever we like, shining inside us, in front of us, however big, however small. As long as we feel relaxed and comfortable, don't worry about the clarity. The more we relax, the more we follow that feeling. Everything we see and experience will change automatically. The key to meditation is just to keep the balance, to be calm, to be conscious, to be mindful and relaxed together. Eventually, we'll get to a point where we don't want to visualize, we don't want to use the mantra, we just want to do nothing. Let it be. Follow that feeling. Trust in yourself. You know what makes you feel relaxed. When we get to that point, just let go. Do nothing. And just be content. Through that contentment, the relaxation will continue to grow. Igniting and sparking our inner happiness within, almost like a small star shining. Eventually, the more we relax, by simply remaining calm and patient, content with whatever happens, that inner happiness will begin to grow and expand, shining from within. As the clouds in our mind, the negativity in our mind begin to disappear, revealing a happiness, a brightness, a love that has always been within us, waiting for us to look within. Just like the full moon tonight, sometimes we just need to wait and let the clouds pass by. Eventually, no matter where you are, who you are, everyone will be able to see the full moon in the sky. Within us, we have our own happiness that we can all connect to. We all have a point of peace, a place that is filled with happiness, and most importantly, a universal love that is pure, that is positive. And the way to connect to that point is to simply relax. Allowing our mind gently and naturally to go to that place, which it will. All we need to do is guide it by staying relaxed, staying content. Every moment that passes by, every second where we feel relaxed, our mind is becoming more still, more clear, more bright, more positive. Even though right now it may be dark, but remember, the darkest night produces the brightest stars. All we need to do is wait, patiently, contently. We have everything we need to succeed in meditation now. The key is already in your hands, where we feel relaxed, feel comfortable. So let's continue to enjoy the meditation together, allowing this relaxation to take us to connect to our inner happiness, where we can truly love ourselves, filling our mind with positivity and allowing it to shine from within us. As if we found our inner smile, and that smile will begin to shine onto our face and spread out from within us automatically. So for now, let's enjoy this meditation together in silence. Now that our inner happiness, our inner brightness is beginning to grow within us, let's take a moment to light our inner happiness on the outside, light our inner brightness from within to our candle on the outside. Once you've lit the candle on the outside, we may continue to meditate, trying to feel and see that inner brightness of the candle, or just simply relaxing, whatever is easiest for us. Now that we have lit the candle on the outside, and most importantly, lit our inner happiness on the inside, now that our mind is full with more positivity, now that we can truly begin to feel the love for ourselves, it's a good opportunity for us to now share that love, share our positivity, share that brightness and warmth that we feel from within, like the full moon shining on everyone, everywhere, no matter the distance, no matter where they may be. Our mind has the power to spread our positivity the same. By simply wishing. Because what we think, we can become, not only for ourselves, but for the people we love. So right now, let's take a moment to spread our love by simply imagining the person or imagining their name, whatever is easiest for us, and wishing for yourself and for them to be healthy, to be happy, to be free from any danger, any sickness, or if they are suffering or in pain, may they be able to recover quickly, and may our life and the lives of our loved ones be free from any obstacle, most importantly, may they have the opportunity to also meditate to find their own inner happiness, their own inner peace, that universal love that's within us, within everyone. So just continue to wish for yourselves, your loved ones, and for everyone in the world. Allowing our positivity and our brightness to shine from within. We may not be able to change the world right away. We can help to change the world for ourselves and for the people closest to us first. from one moment of peace. That one moment has the power. From one moment of peace can help to change a day. One day of peace can help to change a life. And one life of peace can help to change the world. It starts from within us and spreads out like a universal, pure love. Sapphe Buddha Palapata Pachekanam Chayang Palang Arahantanate Shirakang Pantami Sapaso Sapaputtha Nupavena Sapathamma Nupavena Sapasangha Nupavena Satha Soti Bhavantu Te. By the power of the positivity generated through this meditation and all the positivity in our life, bless our life with happiness and success. May this positivity and brightness overcome any darkness in our life. And may our life continue to be filled with happiness and positivity forevermore. When we are ready, we may slowly and gently open our eyes.
Thank you, Venerable Daniel. So that wraps up our meditation session. Before we transition over to the Q&A, if we can quickly ask for everyone to turn on their camera briefly so that we can all see your bright, happy faces for just a few moments. And then we will visually connect and then take just a couple of pictures before the announcement and then Q&A with Monk Daniel. All right. Happy faces. Again, if you can turn on your camera, bright, happy faces for just a few moments. Hopefully everyone enjoyed your meditation tonight. Wonderful. Okay, I think we are good to go. So before we wrap up and transition over to our Q&A, just a couple of announcements that I like to give. Okay. So our next full moon meditation is going to be on March 18th. So everyone, please mark this on your calendar. Again, our next meditation full moon session is going to be on March 18th. Again, depending on where you're at, if you're in the US, it's going to be 6 o'clock PST, 7 o'clock MST, 8 CST, and then 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. For those who haven't already, please download our app MindGem. It's a great way for you to meditate with all of our teaching monks at home at the convenience of your home every day if you like. We have over 100 audio tracks for you to listen to. In addition to that, we also send out notifications with regards to reminders of special events, such as our full moon meditation. So if you don't already have our app, download it on either iOS or Android. Again, it's called MindGem. Also, another thing to notate is we also have an awesome website, a centralized website. It's called tamakayameditation.org. And this is a great website for you to reference any of our special events and also all of our local centers in the US you can find through tamakayameditation.org. And for those of you living in either Chicago, Azusa, California, New Jersey, or Alabama, note that we do have classes available at the local centers. Also, just a little highlight, I was mentioning this earlier that in Georgia, we have a former member who is now a teaching monk. His name is Venerable Michael. He has now been a monk for 5 years. Very proud of him because he came from our center and he is going to be here with Venerable Nick. Both of them are very well known in Thailand in terms of also doing some wonderful teaching for international students around the world. They're going to be visiting Georgia. Also, they'll be in California as well. I think they have a couple of other centers they might visit. But for Georgia in particular, they will be here for 2 months. Our first class is going to be on March 17th. That's actually a Sunday service class for anyone who's in Georgia. Please come visit us. And on March 18th, we will have our full moon meditation session at the Georgia Meditation Center as well. And then we're going to have our kickoff Wednesday meditation class on March 23rd. Kind of a big deal for us because we have not met since 2019. So we're very excited about opening up our first class. So if you're in Georgia, please do come visit us that day. Check out our website, meditationcircle.org, for information as well. So at this time, that pretty much sums up our announcements. We are going to turn it back over to our teaching monk, Daniel, for Q&A. So let's transition back to our teaching monk.
Okay. I'm just reading everyone's comments.
Oh, great.
Thank you so much. Hopefully you had a good meditation. If anyone could please share in chat, that would be wonderful as well. And if you have any questions, or please send in the chat and I will help to answer any questions you may have about meditation or about your experience or whatever it may be.
Yeah, so Venerable, looks like
we
do have a question.
Okay.
Yeah, Venerable, looks like we do have a question. Yeah, we've got a question. A hand is raised. So if you can introduce yourself when we spotlight you. I don't know where he went. But yes, so you guys, this is a great time to ask any questions you might have to our teaching monk Daniel. You can either ask via chat or you can raise your hand and we can bring you onto spotlight so that you can ask your questions to our teaching monk tonight. So Venerable, while we are waiting for questions, can you not summarize, but can you repeat? This is like such a great, I like to collect quotes, obviously, but I really like the end of your guided meditation when you were talking about how a moment of peace and you kind of like progressed it to changing the world. I thought that was so beautiful. Could you repeat that? I'd like to write it down.
Okay. So basically, sometimes before I talked about the quote, but I just want to emphasize that some people overlook that one moment of where our mind stops. And some people, especially people who meditated often, we tend to think that one moment where our mind stops or that one moment of peace is maybe not as amazing as it is. But actually, if we think about it, our whole life, we never stopped our mind. So just one moment of where your mind stops is amazing in itself. And that moment when your mind stops, that moment of peace, is a moment when your mind is free from any negativity, whether it's greed, anger, delusion, ignorance, whatever it may be. It stops and it's replaced by positivity and peace. So that's why I said that one moment of peace can help to change a day. One day of peace can help to change a life. One life of peace can help to change the world. And this idea basically comes from Luang Por. Actually, not basically, it comes from Luang Por. Because Luang Por said world peace through inner peace. And it's not just a pretty phrase, it's actually true. It can come true starting from within us. And just like I remember he once gave us a wonderful mission. Actually, he gave us the mission to spread meditation to the world, right? And some monks asked him, how can we do that? It's such a big project. And he said, you start from one person and create an inner peace family, and the inner peace family will spread to the next family, next family, next family. So it starts from one and slowly expands. So hopefully we can get the idea, but that one moment of where your mind stops is enough for you to unlock many profound things in meditation. So please don't overlook that one moment and be proud of yourself if you got that one moment. So I think,
I feel
did
like
you get it?
that's so powerful. Yeah, yeah. No, no, I just feel like it's just so powerful, like when you really break down that, you know, that advice essentially, how, that one moment and you are that one seed and how we can all really help the world. When we're talking about universal love, it's definitely very relevant.
Exactly.
And
And
Lisa
that one
said world
moment,
peace through inner peace.
yeah,
Lisa.
that's Luang Por's famous quote, and it's actually uh, very possible. You know, there's so many people who talk about peace, and I think that if more people focus on changing themselves first, that world peace that seems so impossible can happen. But it starts from everyone putting in the effort to change the things that they can change, which is change themselves first, right? We can't change the environment right away. We can't change policies right away, but we can change ourselves first and change the people.
Mhm.
We can't change people, but we can change ourselves first. We can change people eventually, but it's harder than changing ourselves.
Right,
So it's a collective effort. So
right.
I think someone said, I saw your slide about shrimp and crab. Could you share it with us briefly, please? Okay, I'll go back to that, or just to explain it. Sometimes this is a funny thing that happens a lot in meditation, is that we try to rush to the peace. We want to race to get to the goal. And if we rush, sometimes we run in the wrong direction, just like the crab and the shrimp. So when we start meditation, we need to take our time to make sure we're going in the right direction. And for the crab and the shrimp, it needs to know for itself what position works for them. For for the crab, it needs to put itself in the right position that's comfortable for it to go in the right direction, which is side to side. For the shrimp, it goes backwards when it runs. So it needs to face itself in the right direction, in the right position. So what I mean by that is, for every person who meditates, it's different. Every session is different. So we need to take the time to look at ourselves and make sure we're going in the right direction, and we're starting in a position that is comfortable for us. Keyword is for us, not for someone else, not from what you heard before, but for you, what works for you. That's something that we need to pay attention to a lot. It's not a race to the goal. And sometimes when you run in a race, if you're running in the wrong direction, then it's going to be problems. So meditation is not necessarily about uh, how fast you get to the destination, but it depends on, are you running in the right way? Are you walking in the right direction? Running or walking will the speed isn't important. The speed will change automatically. I know a lot of people like to ask, like, how can I quickly still my mind? How can I get to that point of peace quicker? You can't rush it. The less you do, the more you're going to get. The more you let go, the more you relax. That's the way you can go quicker. It's not like on the outside world when we want to get somewhere, we need to try more. We need to put more effort in. We need to run. In meditation, it's the opposite, completely opposite. So it's something we have to reflect on often. And I think Luang Pu gave the best example of that is stop is the key to success. Stop your thinking, stop your anticipation, stop your desire, and you're going to have success in your meditation for sure.
So, Venerable, before we continue with the next question, just for everyone who is on the call, if you have any questions, definitely please let us know. But also, we did wrap up meditation. So if you have to go, that's fine. But we'd love for you to stay on because you can learn a lot. So there is a question that came through, Venerable. It's from Deb. And her question is, what would be a good way to help someone who does not meditate but wants to have less anxiety and more peace?
Sorry, one more time. There was a little bit of lag on
So
my
this
side.
question is from Deb. Oh, that's fine. Her question is, what would be a good way to help someone who does not meditate but wants to have less anxiety and wants to also have peace, but they don't meditate? I think that's a very good question. Thank you, Deb.
Great question. Ideally, trying to invite them to come and meditate. Because anxiety and a lot of these problems that we have in society now, it comes from we don't know how to take care of our minds. We don't know how to calm our minds down. So as a friend or as someone that you care for them, we need to try to invite them to come and meditate for themselves. That's the best way, because Luang Por would say, like, we can't, the only way for someone to be full, right, is for them to eat for themselves. You can't eat the burger for them or whatever it may be, right? You need them to sit down and meditate for themselves to cure their anxiety, which is extremely possible if they come and meditate. And I know some people maybe it may be hard to invite in the beginning. So that's why we need to be an example for them. If they see you meditating often and they see the change in you, they're going to want to be influenced to want to come and meditate more. So myself included, before, my mom was one of those people who helped me to be interested in meditation, because she was an example for me. I always saw her meditating. I always saw her inviting me. And in the beginning, sometimes I resisted. I was like, I don't want to go. It doesn't seem fun or something like that. But when I saw how calm my mom was, how peaceful she was, how positive she was, it kind of made me question and want to try meditation for myself. So hopefully that gives you an idea. So please try to invite them to come next time, maybe next session, next full moon.
Thank you, Venerable. So Venerable, here's another comment question, but it's from Ravint. And he says, sometimes when I meditate, I try to think about nothing, but it's really hard. He tries to clear his mind. So maybe, how can we help with or any advice or guidance in terms of how to help clear his mind? I know we've got the tools, but it's not always, even with the tools, sometimes our minds are distracted.
I think that's a wonderful question, and I'm sure everyone here deals with this, even myself. I'm sure everyone here in the call in Zoom right now has had a moment of where you meditate and it's hard to clear your mind. The first thing is, please don't be frustrated with yourself, because it's completely normal for it to be difficult in the beginning to clear your mind, especially if we don't meditate often, or even though we meditate often, but sometimes throughout the day, if we don't look after our mind, and many things come into our mind consciously and subconsciously. Everything we see, everything we feel, everything we experience, it all gets absorbed by our mind. So it may be hard to think nothing in the beginning. So a key concept I want everyone to start to understand more is meditation is a balance between doing nothing and doing something. So again, it's a balance between doing nothing and doing something. What I mean by that is to get to the nothing and doing nothing, to stop thinking. In the beginning, we need to do something. And what I mean by that is we need to use the tools that we have in our toolbox, whether it's visualization or using the mantra. Don't skip to doing nothing right away, or don't, even though we feel like sometimes I enjoy just to do nothing and relax. But if I know that my day was very busy, my life is very filled with many things in the past, I need something to anchor my mind. I need something to be a companion. I need something to be a shield to help protect my mind from wandering, from not thinking, or for to help to clear. So to get to the nothing part, we need to do something. So I recommend that you don't try to do nothing right away. Try to use the visualization, try to use the mantra first. And eventually you're going to get to that point where you don't want to do nothing automatically. So hopefully that answers your question a little bit. But another thing is, it takes time. It takes time. Remind yourself that it takes time. The way to clear your mind, it doesn't happen right away. We need to be a little bit patient. And just like in our computer, or we delete a file, right? Some files that are big, it takes a while to delete, right? It's not right away. The same thing is in our mind. Some things are deleted quickly and easily, and some things take a little bit of time. But it doesn't mean it's not getting deleted. It just means we need to wait a little bit longer and just be calm, be patient, and it's going to get to that point bit by bit.
Wow, Venerable. I've never heard anyone put it like that. That is so profound. Like doing nothing and doing something. I actually really, that makes a lot of sense. Thank you for that
Just to
knowledge.
just to reiterate that everyone throughout your meditation session has to switch between these two things. That's what makes you a good meditator, is knowing when to do nothing and when to do something. Meaning that when you're off balance, when you're in balance, you don't need to do anything. When you have mindfulness and relaxation together, you feel calm, you feel relaxed, you don't need to do anything at that point. But whenever you start to feel that balance is shifting or off, that's when we need to do something, adapt to the situation by using the mantra, by using visualization, whatever it may be, to get you back in balance.
Thank you, Venerable. I love that. Another question that we have, and I think this is pretty relevant to universal love as being our wisdom talk today. And this question is, why do we hurt those we love? So I just want to expand that a little bit more, which is true if we're talking about universal love and kind of expanding that out there. But, it's so everyone's hurting everyone, and we've got all these situations, even right now, Ukraine and Russia, things like that. That's a very good question, Venerable. Why do people continue just not loving each other and trying to find harmony and peace, the world even on a bigger picture, except for, of course, us on this call.
That's why Lumpu said stop is the key to success in your life and in meditation. And the problem is we hurt the people we love because our mind gets influenced by the negativity that inherently everyone has what we call defilements, where we have anger, we have greed, we have delusion, we have ignorance, we have all these negative emotions, or we have that switch to be negative inside of us. And the thing with it is, if you think about it, it's like almost everyone in the world is I would say sick with those things, and we need to keep them in check and keep that negativity in our mind that is always there, possibly able to switch. We need to make sure that we keep those negative emotions at bay. which is why we need to stop our mind often. We need to recharge our mind often to connect to those moments of peace more often. Because every time we connect to those moments of peace within, it's going to lower the negativity in our mind and not allow it to infect our mind, infect our thoughts, infect our words, infect our actions. So that's why we hurt people, is because we aren't mindful of our mental health, and that negativity takes over what we think, what we say, what we do to them. So the more often we stop and still our mind, the more easily it's going to be for us to not hurt anyone. That's why meditation is so important, and why Paul would say we need to love ourselves through meditation. And why is that the best way? Because directly we're going to be a better person for everyone around us, and we're not going to hurt anyone anymore. And most importantly, we're not going to hurt ourselves, because we are more connected to how we're feeling, both physically, both negatively and positively, meaning that if you practice meditation more often, you're going to be able to know how you're feeling, be more aware of how you're feeling. And a lot of times when we hurt someone, it's because we let our emotions take over. And sometimes, like speech, it takes a moment, a second to say something. And that second that we said something hurtful, it can last a lifetime to someone. And the same thing is true for positive things, right? One thing you said, one action you did one time can change someone's life. So we need to meditate and look after our mind to make sure that what we say, what we do, what we think is more positive. And the chances for us to hurt someone we love will reduce automatically. So hopefully that gave you some kind of idea.
Well, that was so inspiring. Oh my goodness. I wish everyone could hear what you just said, because I feel like it would motivate. I don't see how it can't motivate anybody who's not interested in meditation to meditate. That question that Deb had, Deb, I think you need to write down what the Venerable just said and share it with your loved one who isn't interested in meditation, because I think it's just a matter of being educated. And, when it's broken down with such wisdom, I think it's very clear, and anybody who hears it would be curious to see what you're talking about. That was very, very a great explanation, Venerable. Thank you. So Venerable, last question before we wrap up, since it is 10:27, gives you enough time to answer this question. Statement slash question, but there is some relevancy in this. And Raven says that we love 10, we hurt 10. We love 100, we hurt 100. What is your thought on that comment?
I think it connects to the second part where you say, when we love someone, we expect too much from someone. It's a different kind of love. I think if you meditate and the thing is, when we meditate, we connect to a more pure love. Sometimes our love is actually kind of mixed with other emotions, whether it's attachment, over attachment, obsessiveness, or possessiveness of that person, or expectation from that person. So that's why it's so important to, and also friends. Yeah, exactly. That's why it's important to be able to have inner happiness for yourself and an inner love for yourself, because you're not going to expect from others more, because you have that happiness for yourself, that love for yourself already. And a lot of times why we expect so much, or we expect something in return, because we feel like we're missing something from others, which in reality, if we meditate and we have that happiness for ourselves already, we don't really need anything in return from anyone. We don't need anyone to make us happy, or anything to make us happy, if you meditate more, because you can access that happiness, that true happiness for yourself, anytime, anywhere, every time you meditate. So yeah, it's about connecting
So
to that.
it's like a whole love, like you have enough love for yourself, essentially.
Yeah. So you're not expecting your friend to give you back something or help love you back or someone to love you back because you already have love for yourself within.
Mm.
And it's similar to giving without expecting anything in return, if that makes sense. When we talk about giving or being generous, the gift of giving is the act of giving in itself. And if you practice that in Buddhism, yeah, we you will understand it more, that the joy in, when you help someone, even though maybe they don't give you anything back in return or they don't return your kindness in the end, but you already benefited from it. You already got something good out of that.
Mhm.
So don't expect to get anything back, but we did something good to them. That's enough.
I think that's also very wise too, right, Venerable? Because then you're not being disappointed either. It's like it's only creating happiness for yourself because then you don't have
um,
any thoughts that might be negative.
I think from my experience and from my understanding is a lot of people suffer because of expectations,
Right.
meaning that your mind isn't in the present, your mind is in the future.
Mhm.
You're expecting something that hasn't happened yet. So you're disappointed because you feel like something is missing. Instead of that, focus on what you have. Be in the present, and you're going to
Which
be way
meditation
happier.
which
Yeah.
meditation teaches you how to do that. That's why being in the present is so important because it really can impact your mental being.
And eventually you're going to get what you expect automatically without you realizing it. Because if you're in the present moment, you have the power and the decision to make your life better. When you're in the present, you're able to walk towards your goal. It's not bad to have goal or expectations necessarily, but if you focus on the expectation and on the goal rather than the method, you're gonna suffer. But if you
Mm.
focus on the method and how to get to that goal, you're not gonna suffer.
Wow, that is so well put, Venerable. Thank you. I love hearing your wisdom because it really is so inspiring, Venerable. And you've got so many great comments that I didn't get a chance to read out loud, but they're there in terms of the wisdom that you've taught us today and how many people have enjoyed it. And thank you for sharing it with us tonight. So at this time, everyone, it is 10:30, and this wraps up our meditation session tonight. The Venerable is going to give us a blessing, and we can accept it by putting our palms together.
So by the positivity of everyone coming together to meditate tonight, and by your own positivity that you generated by meditating, as well as all the positive deeds you have done in your life that you can remember or that you can remember, may all that positivity, all that pure energy come together within us to cover us, to protect us, to guide us, to be surrounded by positive people, positive situations. May that inner brightness, that inner positivity make our life more clear, more bright, more successful in every way. May all the darkness, all the obstacles in our life disappear and be replaced with opportunities to succeed, to become more happy, both physically and mentally. Most importantly, must we be able to meditate, connect to that inner peace, inner happiness easily and quickly, be healthy and strong of both body and mind forevermore.
Sadhu. Thank you for that beautiful blessing, Venerable. Namaste, Venerable. Until we meet again next time. Bye,
Next,
everyone. Please mark your calendar,
bye.
March 18th for our next full moon meditation.
Sorry
Namaste,
for
Venerable.
the technical difficulty
It's
problems.
okay, Venerable. It happens. That's why technology is unpredictable. We're just glad that you're able to come back and we didn't lose you again. So thank you, Venerable.
Okay,
That was an awesome session.
see you next time.
Namaste, Kanmon Pika.